Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Further Beyond Gaming. My name is Cody GT, and in today's video we are starting a brand new series on the channel, and it was actually suggested by a lot of you guys in the comments of my last video, and so I do appreciate the suggestions and I appreciate you guys commenting. But in today's video, the series that we are going to be starting today is which weapon is the best weapon in each category. So what I mean by that, just in case you do not understand, is we're going to take a look at each weapon in Honkai, so the pistols, blade, the cannon, etc. And we're going to take a look at that category and see which pistol, blade, or cannon in that category you should be going for, or which ones are the best ones to go for. So it's a bit of a guide, especially geared towards newcomers to the game. It seems as if there's a lot of new players that are being introduced to the game. So this should help you out a little bit. Now keep in mind, I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to Honkai. I don't have all the ins and outs and the details, but I know a bit to be able to at least give some suggestions and to give some advice. So this is the series we're going to be starting, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the pistols, and we will work our way all the way down to the lance, which, you know, there's not too many of those. So by the time I get there, hopefully there's some more that come out. But either way, I do hope you enjoy the video series today. If you do, go ahead and drop a like. It really does help out the channel. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe if you like what you're seeing, and remember to hit the notification bells to stay notified. One last thing I did want to mention before we jump into it: if you want to, there will be a link to the Discord in the description down below. Go ahead and join the Discord today so you can discuss Honkai with like-minded people. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So like I mentioned, we're going to be starting out with the pistols, and the way this series is going to be laid out, it's going to be different than the Valkyries. We're not going to go from worst to best. What we're going to do is just take a look at the categories and see which weapons would actually be viable for going for, or which ones that you should be trying to obtain that will help you out not only on your account but also with your gameplay when it comes to Memorial Arena, Abyss, and just any events in general. So like always, in the comments down below, let me know your guys' suggestions when it comes to the specific category that we're talking about, and you can really kind of pick about as many as you want that you feel are useful or that you should be going for. So one of the first weapons that I did want to go ahead and discuss, or one of the first pistols, is the Mjolnir. This weapon has been in Honkai since, I believe, the beginning, and it has just really stood the test of time. The reason being is because of the debuff that it does provide the enemies. Now I really hope that this weapon does get a pre-arm, because it could do a lot more, but what it does right now is still really valuable, and you can put it on just about any Kiana and really be successful with it. So the reason why this weapon is something to go for, like I mentioned, excuse me, is that not only does it knock down the enemies and deal damage, physical damage, and impairing them, but it also decreases their defense by 80%. So that allows you and your other Valkyries to be able to do more damage towards the enemies. Also, you gained 11% crit rate. So the Mjolnir, definitely a good pistol to go for, one that, like I mentioned, stood the test of time. And if you're a newcomer to the game, maybe one that you do want to go ahead and try and obtain if you're able to. A really good weapon right there. Moving on from there, the Hyper Railguns. Now the Hyper Railguns is a really good weapon, not because of the Hyper Railguns itself in particular, but for the pre-arm. So if we go back here, because I don't know if I can see the pre-arm from there. So if we go back here, and then we go to the Foundry right there, and then we go to the Poistron blasters right here. Let me see if I can pull them up just in general. There we go. The Poistron blasters. Now this weapon, especially equipped on your Night Moonbeam, is going to be a really good weapon for you. Now you can see when we pre-armed the Hyper Railguns to the Poistron blasters, everything that is included with this weapon. Now the reason why you do want to go ahead and get you know, the Hyper Railguns, and then if you are able to pre-arm it, is because you're able to do so much more when equipped to your Kianas, but specifically your Night Moonbeam. The reason being is because you're going to be able to do a lot more damage. You're going to be able to paralyze the enemy Now, the reason why I mentioned Night Moonbeam is because it does have an equip bonus, and when you equip it to Night Moonbeam, you're able to get a lot more out of the Poistron blasters. Now, the enemies, they also have a 14% more physical vulnerability for 8 seconds, so that is absolutely fantastic. It has the leaping arc, where you can do a lightning chain for every 20 hits, and then the attacks up to 4 enemies within a 6-meter radius, so it has good AoE. Good lightning damage, more physical damage, does more damage against paralyzed and unparalyzed enemies. Again, if it's wielded by Night Moonbeam, will restore SP for each enemy hit. So that's just absolutely fantastic. So 1 SP for unparalyzed, 2 SP for paralyzed. That is just a phenomenal skill right there. And then moving on from there, you also gain 15% move speed and 25% crit rate. Once again, wielded by Night Moonbeam, her evasion will boost her physical damage by 10% for 12 seconds. So Night Moonbeam just really benefits from this. And the Hyper Railguns pre-armed to a Poistron Blasters is just a phenomenal addition to your account. It really will help you out, especially if you have Night Moonbeam. So if you got lucky, was able to obtain Night Moonbeam, which at this point in time is not too difficult to go ahead and do, then that is really going to benefit you. So that would be one that I would be aiming for if I did have Night Moonbeam, or if I just wanted a really good weapon to pre-arm. That's definitely a good one, at least in the pistol category so far. That is a really good one to go for. Now, the next one that I did want to go ahead and mention, in my opinion, especially if you have 6 Serenade, is the Tranquil Arias. Now, keep in mind, if you keep it as the Tranquil Arias and do not pre-arms it, then this weapon is actually good for a lot of different Valkyries. Especially God Kiana really benefits from the Tranquil Arias not being pre-armed. Reason being is because of that switch in, switch out playstyle. With the weapon skill right here, the wielder deals 15% bonus physical and elemental damage. Upon entrance, the wielder deals 50% bonus total damage for 5 seconds. So right there, that's a lot of bonus damage. And not only does it buff elemental, which is good for your 6 Serenade, but it also buffs your physical damage dealers, which is good for your God Kianas. So that is why this is a good weapon, a very versatile weapon, and you can really place it on just about any Kiana, and they will benefit because of that bonus damage and being able to be for both physical and elemental. Now, if you do have 6 Serenade, you use her a lot, and she's one of your most favorite Valkyries to use, like myself, then you may want to look into pre-arming it. I went way too far back. Well, actually, I didn't. Here we go, to the Foundry, and then you can go ahead and obtain the Tranquil Rhapsody by pre-arming the Tranquil Arias. And the reason why you may want to do this is just because in general, this weapon now becomes specifically geared towards 6 Serenade and makes her such a better Valkyrie in the long run, because it allows her to do way more damage. As you can see, not only does it allow her to do way more damage, but the bar above your health, that gets filled up much quicker, allows you to be able to spam her charge attack where she phases in and out of enemies, and then her ultimate deals 30% more total damage as well for 9 seconds, and then you gain 20% more ice damage, and the QTE deals 15% more total damage. And then if it's wielded by 6 Serenade, specifically her Raven Mark deals 15% more ice damage, and she significantly gains Ignore Interrupt for 5 seconds after unleashing the weapon active for the combo attack. Not only with the combo attack, but when you're do the weapon skill, if you hold it down, you can phase through enemies in a phantom type mode, and then when you come out, pulls the enemies in, and then you're able to go straight into your combo attack, phasing in and out of enemies, doing tons of damage. It is actually a really good pre-arms for 6 Serenade. Specifically makes her, I would say, like leaps and bounds better, with that being the Tranquil Rhapsody rather than the Tranquil Arias. But that is a decision that you would have to make, you know, depending on your account and what you have and what you enjoy in the long run. So that would be the next one that I would speak about, a very good weapon to try and go ahead and obtain, and it would benefit you in the long run, especially if you don't have the means to pre-arm it just now, the resources, then you can keep it as a Tranquil Arias, and it will still benefit you and be a really good weapon. Now the next one that I did want to go ahead and talk about And this will be more geared towards, I guess you could say, my free-to-play players. Now, a lot of these weapons, in a sense, in a way, can be free-to-play obtained through the exchange shop or in the shop in general. And I'll go ahead and show, just in case you're unaware for my new players. If we go to the supply, we go to the shop, and then we go to, is it the war? No, not the war treasury. Let's see here, the exchange shop. Here we go. So if you come to the exchange shop, there will always be 2 weapons that are on cycle here. Now they do take this currency right here, the weapon renaissance. So keep that in mind. But you can obtain most weapons free to play and be able to obtain the weapon that you're looking for. You just have to really grind out the resources by obtaining maybe some free to play weapons that you can get. Let's see here, not the is it the Asterite shop? Not the Asterite shop. Let's see here. Not there either. Here, no. Where is it? Where is it? where you can exchange. You could do it. Where? Oh, you're able to exchange at one point at least your this material right here, your AE Imaginon, for some weapons. Is that not? Oh my goodness, is that not a thing anymore? It may not be. All right, guys. I know you're gonna be. I know you're already in the comments down below saying that you can now go ahead and obtain them from the Foundry. I completely forgot. I was even hidden here that they switched it to the Foundry. It used to be, okay, so back in the day, in the early games of Honkai, you guys know that it used to be in the shop. They actually switched it to the Foundry. I do apologize. I figured that out. I made a jump cut, and here we are right now. So if you go to the Foundry, this is where you can go ahead and find your free-to-play or obtainable weapons that you can get free-to-play. And you could just go to the Foundry, see what materials you need, and actually go ahead and obtain the weapon if you needed it. I am sorry, guys. I completely forgot about that. So this is where you can go ahead and obtain the weapon. So for example, let's say you needed some Honkai cores. You can go ahead and get one of the 4-star weapons and then go ahead and salvage it, get your Honkai core or your weapon renaissance, and then go over and get the weapon that you're looking for. So that is a way you can go ahead and obtain it fairly free to play. Other weapons such as this one will need more resources to go ahead and obtain it, but keep that in mind. And that is something I do apologize, completely forgot about. It's in the Foundry now. Keep that in mind. Duly noted. All right, so moving on from there, the last one I did want to go ahead and talk about before I do end the video is the Keys of the Void. Actually, there's one more I want to talk about. I'm sorry. So this one, Keys of the Void, a very good weapon. One that allows your Valkyrie to do a lot of physical damage. And that's pretty much what it is there for, physical damage and crit damage. So if you have another, so this is really applicable to God Kiana obviously, but if you have another Kiana that does physical damage, which there are, it'll benefit that Kiana as well. It's just really applicable for God Kiana, but it's very versatile. You can put it on a lot of different Valkyries, namely in particular Void Drifter. This works really well with her also. So this is just a fantastic weapon all around, one that I would go ahead and strive to obtain if you're able to. Really good. And then the last one, I do apologize, the last one I did want to talk about is the Judgment of Shemesh. I didn't want to overlook this one because this one is very easily obtainable, and it will definitely benefit you, especially for my free-to-play players. It has a lot of good benefits here, being able to do a lot of good fire damage, able to do a good multiplier on the damage in general, has a good chance to be able to debuff and be able to do total damage reduction. So really good weapon here, especially free to play. Definitely one you're going to want to grind out, definitely one you're going to want to try and max out, especially if you're free to play. It will definitely benefit you. How many times have I said definitely? Let's get a counter going. But that is the video, guys. Those in the pistol categories are the ones that I would try and go for and try and obtain. I think they're very valuable. Now the other weapons here are still good as well. Just because I didn't mention them doesn't mean that they're not good. They're just not ones that I would, really strive for, over the ones that I mentioned. The ones that I mentioned, I think, are just better, valuable, and versatile, can fit on different Valkyries and things, or different Kianas, I should say, and things like that. So that is my list. Let me know in the comments down below your list, and let me know in the comments down below which ones that you would go ahead and choose for the pistol category. Our next video, or I should say the next one in the series, will be the blade category, so I'm excited to go ahead and discuss that one. So remember to hit the notification bell to be notified about when I do upload that video. And then let me know down in the comments below if you guys do enjoy this series, and once again, if you do, go ahead and drop a like I mentioned. It really helps the channel out. But I am going to go ahead and get out of here. I rambled on long enough. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. And until next time, my boys, until next time, it's your homie Cody GT, and I'm out.